Over the next few weeks, as the structure tentatively goes up, Sarah can begin to get a sense of what the houses will be like.
Coming in here and having the walls up the other day was very exciting because we're just in a two-bed flat where we are. Everything's becoming a little bit kind of small in the flat, you know, and of course Jasmine's getting bigger and running around and needs more space as well. So yeah, it will be huge to have our own place and it, you know, actually be ours and not renting.
There's still a long way to go though. And this is not a pair of simple boxes. The engineering, the jointing, the accuracy required is time-consuming. There are odd angles, strange overhangs, all of which make it slow going.
I was hoping that we would have the first floor completely finished by now, to this stage. And that we'd be walking in, getting ready to be looking at bringing the windows on site and putting the first floor walls up. But there was a little optimistic. If I'm not careful, this is going to go a lot longer, program-wise. It is that sensitive.
Keep going.
By autumn, the pace has picked up a little. The first floor walls are going up on both houses. Now that you can get upstairs, you begin to understand just how much Bill is squeezing onto this narrow site. He's so cheek by jowl with his neighbours that he's devised a cunning plan to keep them sweet.
We send a newsletter out to all the local residents, just to keep them in the loop as to what's going on in their back gardens. I feel that's sort of fair and reasonable. These people are going to be my neighbours after all. Because I've been in the trade, you know, all my working life, I understand people's reactions to building. It's very, very disruptive. It's very stressful. So if I can communicate with people what's going on, it just might make them a little bit more relaxed about what's going on.
Back on site, the first of the angled window frames have arrived. So this is what, your first window to put in, isn't it?
This is from the workshop to here. It's a moment of truth.
It should fit, shouldn't it? Because you've designed and built the house to fit around the window.
Well, this is the whole...
Did the window first, surely?
Dimensional thing, that's what we're trying to achieve here.
What's that? How's that? Well, that was easy.
We're looking for this to tie, and that was remarkable.
Is that good? That's sort of flush there.
That's a real moment of triumph.
So you're pleased?
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the idea was to get them all made so the glass could actually come and follow in and drop in.
Bang.
Exactly behind it. Although I'm still yet to press the button.
On what?
On the glass order.
The window's going in and you still haven't ordered the glass?
No.
Right.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Despite his best efforts, Bill still hasn't been able to order the glass. Although the angled roof windows are ready for glazing, the calculations for the huge double-height courtyard still aren't finished. There's so much glass in these walls that the architects are worried that the houses will just leak heat in winter and overheat in summer. Getting this grand architectural idea to be green is proving difficult. Tell me just how complicated these glass walls are.
They are doing lots of things. There's the health and safety, there's the thermal issues, there's the size of it, the junctions are not the standard. And yeah, we're asking the glass to do quite a lot, but it's an actually fundamental part of the whole building. I mean, they're holes that we're putting glass on, you know, so that you feel like there's a hole and not a window.
So Martin, how much work's involved in getting the glass right?
Each individual pane of glass has a different orientation. Some are facing south, some are facing east. Sometimes when you slide a glass panel in front of another glass panel, it changes its overall thermal performance because you're effectively shielding it from the sun, and it changes over the day between morning and evening. So all that has to be done, and that equates to probably 3.5 inches in thickness of A4 sheets of paper for each individual piece of glass.
There's all sorts of elements that they just keep going back to the drawing board on and recalculating and making sure. My building should be now being glazed as we stand here today. Yeah. But the other side of it is, we'll do it once and we'll do it right. That's always how it works.
You've got this bloody great hole in the middle of the building, and until you get this thing enclosed, until you get it weather tight, you can't do Well, you can't do the insulating, you can't put any internal skin on the building, you can't do any flooring, you first, second fix, nothing.
It's been a little bit out of control. We need to get the glass in. It's a worry. It's a big worry.
All the work involved in getting the glass right is also having a devastating effect on Bill's budget.
It's turned out once, with all the technical specification work involved, all the design work involved in this job, not counting my time or my team's time that we spent on it. The poor old architects have been pulling their hair out just making everything work. The price has been driven up. So instead of 30 to 50, it's now anywhere between 50 and 100. I can't go to 100, man, it's not happening. So we've got to get back down again.
Bill is in catch-22. He wants to move on, but he can't until the glass costs are resolved. And he just can't afford any more money. He and Sarah began by borrowing £400,000 to build these houses, but as their budgets increased, so have their bank loans. This whole glass thing, that's stressed him a great deal, hasn't it?
Yeah, the glass thing's been pretty stressful, because just not knowing what the hell's going on, basically.
So what's Bill like to live with at the moment?
God. Not too bad, actually. I mean, we try and keep sort of home and work as much as you can.
Work, though,
well, no, I mean, he comes in, obviously, and if it's been a full-on day, he'll be a little bit wired and it takes a while to kind of calm down and stuff.
Yeah. But he can engage with family life.
Yeah. I mean, he comes in and puts Jasmine to bed, so it's kind of like that chills him out straight away.
Well, that's good.
Oh dear, what's that?
It's a monkey!
It's now the middle of winter, and while Bill's looking for a cheaper glazing solution, his house is at the mercy of the elements.
What can I tell you about the weather? A happy house is a dry house, and we don't have a dry house. If you want a dry building, that's what we've been trying to get towards. Just not really where I want to be. I want the timber to be nice and dry and crisp, and the electricians and plumbers to be coming in here in the next few weeks and starting their first fix work. So we need to batten down the hatches, so to speak.
The building is not weather-tight, and there are no hatches to batten, no windows to shut, because there's no glass. 6 months into their project, Bill and Sarah's two homes are still standing with their naked panel skins open to the elements. After months of work, the thermal calculations for their glass are complete, but the quotes have almost doubled.
Here we come, Lee.
Bill and Sarah borrowed £400,000 to fund this build, but their costs are going through the roof. The good news is that Bill's cedar cladding has just arrived.
So this is a brilliant moment. This is momentous. We have the cedar arriving. Beautiful, baby. This is the outside of the building. We start to dress the building when this starts to go on. It's kind of pivotal. We go from construction to dressing now. Say phase 2, if you like. We're over the top, and here we go now. And it's good to be here, and it's good to have the timber here.
The houses are now reaching a point where Sarah can also have more input.
Well, this is just a little book. Well, we've been calling it the wish list book. And over the last God knows how many years...
Seriously, you've been sort of slowly filling it up.
Slowly, yeah. I mean, as it's gone on, certain things have gone, OK, that's not right, you know.
Is this something you've done together, or is this you?
Well, I suppose mainly me. But obviously Bill's had, a hand in it.
Sure.
I'm just there in the background, sort of like...
Sourcing.
Yeah, and then I put it into his head, and then he goes and does it. So
the building seems to be very clean-lined, and yet, actually, when it comes to the furniture and furnishings, the stuff you've got here is a bit wilder.
Yeah, and that's kind of not been a difficult thing, but because the houses are so sort of sleek and straight lines and everything, that trying to decide actually what we're going to put in is sort of been quite tricky in a way.
These houses are all about aesthetics, aren't they? I mean,
Yes.
they're beautiful objects, and I guess that sort of ups the stakes here. You've got to furnish them beautifully too, haven't you?